Two main properties we use to solve equations. The first one is called the addition property of equality, and it tells us that we're free to add the same number to both sides of an equation anytime we want, and it won't change the solution. Let's try it with our first problem. I have x minus 5 is equal to 3. What I want to do is solve this for x. So I want x by itself. What I'm going to do is add positive 5 to both sides of the equation, and that way negative 5 plus positive 5 will be 0. So x minus 5 plus 5 is equal to 3 plus 5. Now that's the addition property of equality. I've added 5 to both sides of that equation. Now x plus negative 5 plus 5 is equal to x plus 0, which is just x. And on the right side I have 3 plus 5, which is 8. Now I know that you can solve that equation, of course, just in your head. So you don't have to worry about using the addition property of equality, but we want to show it on some of the simpler problems so that you get used to it. Let's look at problem number 2. I have 7 equals 4a minus 1. I want to solve this for a. So I want a to be isolated on one side of the equation. I'll start by getting rid of this negative 1 right here. So 7 plus 1 on the left side, 4a minus 1 plus 1 on the right side. Now that's my addition property of equality. I've added 1 to both sides of the equation. Now on the left side here, 7 plus 1 is 8. And on the right side, I'm going to have 4a plus negative 1 plus 1, which is 4a plus 0, which is just 4a. Now that brings me to my second property, which is the multiplication property of equality, which says I'm free to multiply both sides of an equation by the same non-zero number anytime I want, and I won't change the solution to that equation. That allows me to take this 4a and replace it with just 1a, so I have my a isolated on this side of the equation. To do that, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 4, which is 1/4. So 1/4 times 4a on the right side of the equation. If I multiply the right side by 1/4, I have to do the same thing to the left side. So 1/4 times 8. Okay, 1/4 times 8 is going to be 2. And then 1/4 times 4 is 1, times a is just a. So this equation solves to just 2 is equal to a, which is the same thing as saying that a is equal to 2. So on that second equation, what I did is I used both the addition property of equality and the multiplication property of equality. Let's look at our third equation. 2/3 x is equal to 8. I want to solve this for x. I notice that I have 2/3 x on the left side. I want just 1x. So I'm going to multiply this left side by the reciprocal of the coefficient of x. So 3/2 times 2/3 x is equal to, that's right, 3/2 times 8. If I multiply the left side by 3/2, I have to multiply the right side by 3/2 also, and that is the multiplication property of equality. 3/2 times 2/3 is 1, times x is just x. And then 3/2 times 8, I'll just divide 2 into 8. That's 4, and then 3 times 4 is 12. So a simple little problem with fractions there, and I end up with just x is equal to 12. That's the solution to this equation. If I replace x with 12, this simplifies into a true statement. So I use the multiplication property of equality again to multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of the coefficient of x. Let's look at our fourth problem. 5y minus 2 plus 4y is equal to 2y plus 12. So what I'm going to do before I apply either my addition property or multiplication property is simplify each side as much as possible. And I see that I have two similar terms on the left side. 5y plus 4y is 9y minus 2 is equal to 2y plus 12. So here I have a variable term, constant term, variable term, constant term. So the procedure to solve this equation is to get all the variable terms on one side and all the constant terms on the other side. I'll do that by applying the addition property of equality. So I'll start by adding negative 2y to both sides. I'm going to show it this way just to save myself a little bit of time. 9y plus negative 2y is 7y minus 2 is equal to 0 plus 12, which is 12. So this is just notation right here that I use just to show that I've added the same number or same quantity to both sides of this equation, negative 2y. So I write it down here like this, just a little time-saving thing to do to show that the addition property of equality has been used. Now I have all my variable terms on one side. I want to put all my constant terms on the other side. That also is the addition property of equality. This time I'm just going to do it in my head. If I add 2 to both sides of this equation, the left side becomes just 7y, because 7y minus 2 plus 2 is 7y plus 0, which is 7y. So I added 2 to the left side. I have to add 2 to the right side also. So 12 plus 2 is going to be 14. Now I'm left here with 7y is equal to 14. I want just 1y, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 1/7. So 1/7 times 7y is equal to 1/7 times 14. 1/7 times 7 is 1, times y is y, and then 1/7 times 14 is 2. So my solution to that equation is y is equal to 2. If I take that value of y and replace each of these y's in the original equation with it, I'll end up with just a true statement, which tells me that that is the solution to that equation. So that is a quick look at the addition property of equality and the multiplication property of equality.